After having what I thought was the best start of his career against the Dolphins in week 2, Drake Maye definitely took a step back in the next game against the Steelers. But now it's become a tradition for Patriots fans. Like, we all do it in the media, fans, Twitter, whatever. We line up Monday morning, sometimes even as early as Sunday evening, and we look Drake Maye in the eye and we say,
"Look at me, son. It's not your fault."
I know.
It's not your fault.
I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
So whose fault is it? It's not the boy wonder's fault. So whose fault is it that Drake Maye took a step back and the Patriots took a step back? Well, I think the first one is pretty obvious. First person you can blame, Rhamondre Stevenson. Boy, I hope he won some cash, man, because clearly he had some on this. He had some action on this game. If anyone wanted to give this game away, it was Rhamondre Stevenson. 2 more fumbles. 9 since the start of last season. What are we doing here? What are we doing here with Rhamondre Stevenson? Had a nice game last week. Certainly did. Big time game last week. Had the longest reception of his career. But he pretty much single-handedly lost you the game this week. Took 7 points off the board all by himself. Okay? We've got to look inward here. We got to say, how can we use Rhamondre Stevenson, and what is he doing for our ball club at $9 million a year? The franchise. For as much as I joke about we give so many excuses to Drake Maye, and we do, we've kind of done the same with Rhamondre the last couple of years. Oh, there's no offensive line. Oh, they're down in every game. And look, I get it. That is a thing when it comes to running backs. It's probably taken some good years out of Jonathan Taylor's legs in Indianapolis because they stunk. But this is an opportunity for him to be one of the reasons why they don't stink. And it's the same old shit. Like, how are we in year 5 in the league and he still can't help but fumble the ball? God, I feel like Tim McGraw in Friday Night Lights trying to friggin' duct tape it to his arms. Like, how is this still happening? How is there nothing we can coach to this kid so that he stops fumbling the ball? It's actively hurting your team. He did not help you in this game, and he was not a net neutral. He hurt you in this game. To go along with 2 fumbles, he also had an impressive performance of 4 carries for 18 yards. You finally got some rushing game going. You doubled your output, your average output, and it's because Drake Maye was your leading rusher. And Rhamondre Stevenson, the guy getting $9 million a year, was your 4th leading rusher in this game. So that I have a problem with. I do. Rhamondre Stevenson is the first one you can lay some blame at the feet of for this performance, and maybe not exactly Drake Maye. Second guy you can blame that's not named Drake Maye, Mike Vrabel. Certainly you can. I've been a little underwhelmed by Vrabel so far, even though I still believe he's the guy. I'm still in here. But when I look at what Rhamondre Stevenson did, it kind of reminds me of a situation where you got your kids at the park and one kid keeps pushing down one of the other kids, being a bully, and his dad is just sitting on his phone not paying attention. So who's the real problem in that situation? Is it the kid or is it the dad? So yeah, Rhamondre Stevenson fumbles all the time, but who keeps putting him in the game? Here's something I miss about Bill Belichick that literally any coach could replicate if they have the balls. Discipline. Who was preaching that all offseason long? Oh, Mike Vrabel. Discipline and accountability. It's going to be different from when Gerard was here, and through 3 weeks, it looks like a Gerard Mayo team. Because he preached it all offseason long, and then we got to the games. Then we got to September. So far, 0 accountability. And Rhamondre Stevenson's the poster child of that. No discipline, no accountability. On a good disciplined team, Rhamondre Stevenson wouldn't even be allowed to get 2 fumbles in a game. He'd either be benched or he wouldn't be taking the biggest carries of the game when you need to score. Certainly wouldn't be getting carries on the goal line. On the flip side, that long drive before the half ended that ended with 0 points. 3 straight passes at the goal line to start. Are we a team that can run the ball or not? That's another thing you preached all offseason long. We're going to be a tough team that's going to win on defense, discipline, running the ball. But that sequence and running a toss on 4th and 1 from your own 15-yard line, you're admitting you can't do that. You can't win games that way. Mike Vrabel let Drake Maye down. Rhamondre Stevenson let Drake Maye down. Another guy is Pop Douglas let Drake Maye down. And not just in this game, but of course, that final play from scrimmage for the Patriots. How about a perfect poetic way to end it? Because after 5 turnovers and they get the ball to potentially march down the field and tie the game, I'm texting with people saying, okay, is it going to be a pick or is it going to be a fumble? But really, what it should have been was what it actually was with Pop Douglas. Just not a turnover on downs, I guess, but not a live ball turnover. Just something really, really, really fucking dumb. Really dumb. What was it? 4th and 2. They hit Pop about a half a yard away from the sticks, and he's got 2 guys there. Like, there are 2 Steelers ready to annihilate him. But instead of dipping down, falling forward, getting past the chains, he tries to go backwards. And guess what? It doesn't work. Everybody in the stadium and the millions watching on television can see exactly what's about to happen when he tries to bounce it. And I can't believe I heard Patriots media members after the game saying, yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah, 2 guys there. Really? You don't blame him. You're supposed to be a tough football team, and he's avoiding contact. Because I find it interesting, you had a guy at halftime who was inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame who made a living out of getting first downs in pretty mucked up situations. Okay, Julian Edelman's getting that pass, and what is he doing? He is going low, and he is diving for a first down, which absolutely was attainable for Pop Douglas. Instead, he tried to bounce it back, and it lost them the game. It took the ball out of their hands in the final drive. And it's more than just this game for Pop Douglas, by the way. I'm wondering exactly what he does here. So far this year, 5 receptions for 13 yards and a touchdown. And you'll remember that touchdown against Miami was an 8-yard touchdown reception. So outside of that 1 8-yard catch, he's got 4 catches for 5 yards this year. In week 1, he had 2 catches on 7 targets. In this game yesterday, he had 2 catches on 5 targets. What does he do for you? I'm sorry. What does he do? He should be one of the security blankets for Drake Maye. He's not. Like, this should be a guy a young quarterback can go to. 5'8", shifty, apparently gets open all the time. I don't see it. I never see it. He was your leading receiver last year on a bad team, but he was tied in receptions with Hunter Henry. That's your actual safety blanket. That's the guy that Drake Maye actually wants to go to when they need a money play. And when he goes to Pop Douglas, he does stuff like that. He's not giving anything to your team. If he went on waivers today, I think he'd make it on a playoff team's roster. I don't know how many teams are clamoring to get Pop Douglas in the door. That's all I'm saying. And to kind of go off that theme of guys who let them down yesterday, but mostly in all 3 games, how about Stephon Diggs? Can Stephon Diggs make that list? I think he can. Underwhelming so far. Is he 100%? I don't know. But if he's not 100%, why is he out there? Why is he out there? But again, 3 catches, 23 yards. That's it. And he has not provided you anything down the field. 13 receptions for 112 yards. That used to be a good game for Stephon Diggs. That's 3 games now. Again, nothing down the field. His longest reception of the year is 16 yards. Why is he here? And is that Stephon Diggs or is that Josh McDaniels? You're looking for a guy who can take a top off a defense, can unleash something down the field. Apparently, he can't do that. or they're not designing anything for him to be able to do that. That's a problem, man. And my dad texts me about it like 10 times during every game. Where is Diggs? This is a big play. Why can't they look for Diggs? I don't know. But he certainly let the team down and let Drake Maye down in this game. And I said I'd give you 4, but I've got a 5th guy I want to talk about in the category of who let Drake Maye down. And that 5th guy is Drake Maye. Drake Maye let himself down in this game. You know, for the other 4 guys, we could tell Drake, hey, it's not your fault. Where was Stephon? Wasn't open. Pop Douglas, not getting down and getting the first down. Rhamondre Stevenson loves giving the ball to the other team. We want to talk about loves giving the ball to the other team. One of the reasons why it was his best game of his career against Miami is because he didn't turn the ball over. In this game, he did it twice. Again, the wrong throw at the goal line. The wrong throw. I know it was deflected. It was deflected because it was the wrong throw. And it was one that the defensive back was still going to get to, whether it was deflected or not. But that's a touch pass to the back pylon, and instead, it's a dart that gets intercepted. And just like Rhamondre Stevenson, that's a good drive that you get down to the goal line and you get 0 points. And the fumble, my God, the fumble. The most obvious throw it away football play I've ever seen. Ever seen. By the way, they had just picked up a 4th down. They just picked it up. Just picked up a 4th down and 1 from Drake Maye. And then he fumbles it on the next play. Because what is he trying to do? Who does he think he's fucking playing here? The Steelers are going to be mid, but A, that front is clearly the best part of their team. And B, this is not Virginia Tech that he's playing. This is not Wake Forest. Okay? You can't just put your cape on and do the shit that whatever the shit is you're trying to do. It was such a dumb play. It's probably the dumbest Patriots play of the year. You got to learn that, kid. You got to learn that. The first step towards being a great quarterback in this league is not turning the ball over. And he hasn't quite gotten there yet. He still has not quite gotten there. And that should be the easiest thing to take out of his game. And it hasn't been. It just hasn't been. So, yeah, you could talk about Mike Vrabel, Rhamondre Stevenson, Pop Douglas, Stephon Diggs, and that's fine. This offensive line still wasn't all that great. Their blitz pickup still sucks. But Drake Maye also deserves a huge piece of blame pie for letting himself down. That was a step backwards from where we were in week 2. It's got to be better, man. Quarterback's got to be better. And your guys holding on to the football got to be better. This was not solely on Drake Maye, but unlike last year, this isn't one of those games where you just give him none of the blame, 0%. He gets a big piece of pie himself. You know, fill up on that blame pie, man. You didn't lose this game because of your quarterback, but he certainly contributed to it. Certainly contributed to it. That's why it was so damn frustrating. To me, the most frustrating Patriots game I've seen in a long time. But who are you blaming for this loss? And how can it be corrected? Let me know in the comments section below. Then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, because we come at you with Boston sports stuff every single weekday, live at high noon Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. Check out the other videos on the channel, talking Patriots, Bruins, everything else going on in the world of Boston sports.